I'm going to talk to you about the 4-step process that you can take to achieve your fitness goals in a way that leaves you feeling more confident from day one, with higher energy levels and with better health. So I'm going to start by telling you my story. Essentially, my whole life, I dreamt of having a six-pack. From as long as I can remember, ever since I was a kid, I wanted a six-pack. And before I was old enough to go to the gym, when I was about 15 years old, I'd sneak upstairs every evening and do press-ups and sit-ups. And then when I was 16 years old, I went down to the gym and started going every day. And by the time that I was 18, I'd achieved my dream body. But then I lost it. And then I would go through this stage of achieving the dream body and then losing the dream body. And then it was just a cycle process of get it, lose it, get it, lose it. And the reason for that was I was so focused on having a six-pack that when it came to dieting, I'd cut calories, I'd be lacking energy, I'd be hungry all day, I was eating tins of sardines for breakfast. And it was just a miserable process where I'd get to the goal because I wanted it so badly, but because it was completely unsustainable, I'd then lose it and go in the opposite direction and undo a lot of the hard work that I'd done. So I became very aware after this process a few times that actually this has to be something that you can enjoy and maintain. And what I tell my clients these days is if you want to achieve a six-pack or anything, whatever your fitness goal, you have to live like someone that already has a six-pack. And the person that has a six-pack has to live like someone that's working to achieve a six-pack. It's a lifestyle and not a destination. And for that reason, it has to add value to your life right from day one. And if it doesn't, you're going to struggle to see it through to completion. So I built my 4-step process around that idea of making it fun, making it enjoyable right from day one. So the 4-step process is this: mindset, strategy, implementation, optimization. It all starts with mindset. What do you want to achieve? Whatever your fitness goal this year, it doesn't matter what it is, but you have to know and have a crystal clear idea of what it is that you want to achieve. For me, it was having the six-pack. For someone else, it might be fitting into a dress that they outgrew a long time ago. For someone else, it might just be having consistent energy levels that leaves them energized for the whole day. Whatever it is for you, be crystal clear on what that goal is. And once you know what it is, ask yourself, why do you want to achieve it? I recently worked with a client, I just finished with him recently, where he runs a very big YouTube channel, and his why, he had outgrown a pair of jeans that he should have been able to fit into at his age, but due to a sedentary lifestyle, drinking too much and eating too much, he'd outgrown a pair of jeans. His why, he would spend most of the day in front of the camera, and when he wasn't in front of the camera, he would be in front of the computer. So his why, he wanted to be confident in front of the camera, and he'd got to the stage where he was lacking confidence in front of the camera. He knew that he was overweight and it was affecting his confidence. When he was in front of the computer in the evenings, he'd be lacking energy, he'd be sluggish, and he knew that because of his process or how he was performing, he wasn't able to give his best to his business. So his why was he wanted to be confident in front of the camera and be able to give his best to his business to get it to the level that he knew that he could get it to. I'll get back to that later, but whatever it is for you, know what it is that you want to achieve and know why you want to achieve it. Once you've got that in place, it's then on to strategy. I've seen so many people that want to get into great shape. They want to better themselves, they want to make a positive impact in the world, but for whatever reason, they don't have a strategy, and as a result, they suffer unnecessarily, they struggle unnecessarily, and ultimately they never achieve what could have been a really, really great goal to achieve. Strategy is so important. When most people want to get in great shape, they think about two things: diet and exercise. The vast majority of people completely overlook what I see as the most important aspect of getting into great shape or achieving your health goals, which is lifestyle. You could have a brilliant session with a personal trainer, be pushed really hard, then go home and have a really disciplined nutritional meal, and then you get a call from your friend saying, look, we're going out for some drinks tonight, do you want to come with us? You go out for evening, it turns into a heavy night's drinking, and right there you can have undone a whole week's worth of hard work. Lifestyle is really what can make or break the goal. So when you come to develop your strategy, you've got to look at how will this fit into your lifestyle, and not just how will you actually do exercise and how will you eat. So when you build your strategy, you've got to think about a few different things. Habits. What habits do you need to start? If you want to achieve a goal where you've never achieved anything like it before, you're probably going to have to do some things differently. So that could be, for example, doing exercise 3 times a week. It could be sticking to a meal plan. It could be, cutting the nights out where you're drinking heavily. Just as important as what you're going to have to start are the habits that you're going to have to stop. If you've not already achieved your fitness goals, the chances are it's because you've been doing things that have taken you in a different direction to the direction that you want to be going in. So get very clear in all 3 areas: diet, lifestyle, and exercise. What do you need to stop? So examples of this could be, I need to stop wasting an hour a day on social media when I could be using that hour to actually do exercise and then prepare a healthy meal. I need to stop binge eating or overindulging on unhealthy foods. I need to stop, drinking beers when I'm out with the mates, out with the friends all evening. Get clear on exactly what it is you need to stop. And once you know what you need to start and what you need to stop, it's then about working out how you can actually fit these new habits into your lifestyle. If you've said, I'm going to commit to doing exercise 3 times a week, when are you going to fit that into your lifestyle? Are you going to fit it in after work? Are you going to fit it in during your lunch break? Are you going to do it in the morning? When is going to work for you, your lifestyle, and your individual preferences? Same goes for healthy eating. When are you going to prepare your healthy meals? When are you going to go and buy the food? How are you going to make sure that you've always got healthy food on hand? So if you're hungry, you never get caught out. Once you know the things you need to be doing, it's then about working out how can you fit these things into your lifestyle. My biggest belief is that when you do this, if you want to be going on a diet, most people think of these things as takeout. They think of these things as going on a grueling diet, must be really lackluster. And I can tell you from experience, eating sardines for breakfast is really lackluster. But it doesn't have to be. When I help someone to move onto a diet, we look at adding in. So when you go onto a diet, all of a sudden you add in amazing things to your life. You're going to start to see definition. You're going to start to fit into clothes that you've not been able to fit into before. You're going to feel light and energetic and not sluggish. You're going to get to nail new holes into your belt that you've never been able to do before. It's all about whatever the goal is, be it fitness, be it nutrition, working out how can you add in from the start rather than how can you take away. And right from the outset, you're then going at it with a more positive outlook, which is really going to help. Once you've got to the stage of developing a strategy, it's then about implementation. Hands up who's ever read a really good personal development book and then not implemented all the pieces of advice, okay? I'm sure if you're like me, if you'd implemented every piece of advice you'd ever read in a personal development book, we'd all have 10 out of 10 lives that were just absolutely perfect. But the reality is, we get these books that are full of useful advice, but we fall down at the stage of implementation. Implementation is so important. And it's in the implementation stage where it's really important to have a why, because it's in the implementation stage where actually the doing and the idea of actually doing this stuff then becomes less exciting than when you're planning all these things that you're going to do. You need a why to keep you on track. To refer back to the client that I recently finished working with, the YouTuber, he, during our program, was taken out to Las Vegas on an all expenses paid for trip where it was, gluttony on demand. To whatever he wanted, he could have had. But he was so committed to actually achieving the goal. He was so focused on why he wanted to do it, and he knew how it would add value to his life by doing it. We created a strategy to actually deal with the time out there, but he stuck to it. He stuck to his guns. He turned down alcohol. He turned down all these delicious foods and pizzas and wings and everything that was on offer, because he knew why he wanted it. So having a why will really help you when you get to the stage of implementation. As soon as you start implementing, you can move to step 4 of the process, which is where it gets really good. And that is optimization. Right from day 1 of implementation, you can then start to optimize. I'm going to give you 3 questions or statements that you can take away with you. And I ask myself these 3 things on a daily basis. And by asking myself these 3 things, I'm constantly optimizing, which means everything else gets better right from the outset. They are this: what went well today, even better if, and I need to do whatever. So what went well? Let's say you've started with a new exercise regimen, and day 1, what went well? I went to the gym today. Okay, great. That's a massive win straight away. I stuck to my meal plan and actually ate healthy foods when I fancied having a pizza on the way home. My friends invited me out for drinks tonight, but I said no because I knew that I wanted to get home and go to the gym. So right there's 3 really big wins. You've proven to yourself that you can now achieve the goal, because it's a goal that you achieve by winning daily on a daily basis and not by achieving, at the end when it happens. So get clear right away on what you've done well. You're building momentum right from day 1. Even better if, let's say you've done this. How could day 1 of my new schedule have been better? Well, let's say, okay, at 3 PM, my energy levels dropped a little bit and I didn't have enough healthy food on hand, so I reached for a bag of crisps. So it would have been great if I'd had more food with me, more healthy food to have saved, reaching for the junk food. I could have gone to the gym and, perhaps I wasted 20 minutes flicking through Instagram when I was in the gym. So I need to make sure that I'm not going on Instagram next time I'm in the gym. Which leads us on to the 3rd point. I need to do what to then optimize. So that would look like, right, I need to make sure that tomorrow when I leave the house, I've got 2 healthy snacks with me. So when my energy levels dip at 3 PM tomorrow, I've got healthy food on hand to save me from reaching for the junk food. So I'm going to go to my bag now and put in an apple and some nuts. So tomorrow at 3 PM, I'm sorted. And also tomorrow when I go to the gym, I'm going to make sure that my phone's on flight mode so I can't even be distracted with the prospect of going on social media. So there you have it. You've got the 4-step process. First of all, mindset. What do you want to achieve? Why do you want to achieve it? How's it going to positively impact your life by achieving this goal? Then strategy. What do you actually need to do to make the goal a success? What habits do you need to start? What habits do you need to stop? How are you going to fit these new habits into your life? And how can you add value to your life from day one instead of taking value away from your life from day one? Step 3, implementation. Get down to business and just do it. As soon as you've started doing it, you can then go to stage 4, which is optimization. How can we make the process better from day one? If you do that on a daily basis, it just gets better and better and better and better and better. And before you know it, you're loving the process. It's leaving you feeling energized. You're feeling great about your body. You're feeling great about your health. And it's a process that you can stick to for life and not just like I did until I got tired of eating sardines and then crashed again. So thank you very much. If you have any questions, I'll be happy to answer them at the end.